To this round of fixtures, only Liverpool had scored more goals than Spurs in the league so far.
Yeah.
Yet one is on top of the table and the other is in the bottom half of the table. Maybe that speaks volumes. But how much of a role do you reckon the injuries could play for both sides? Because looking at Arsenal's injuries, Anthony, it seems to be more attacking-wise. Saka, Jesus, the most recent addition. And for Spurs, it's more of a defensive crisis, from the goalkeeper to the centre halves to the full-backs in almost every area of the defence.
I think it's every area. Obviously, it comes down to every area. But from Arsenal's point of view, they're very strong at the back, and that seems to be where their store has been of getting results. They're very solid. Going forward, they have all the talent in the world. But as Franny stated there, they need that number 9 to finish off the cutting edge that they do have in the final third. They have all these flair players that can create chances. Odegaard, Saka. You've got players that come off the bench that can fill into the roles, and they can provide as well. But they need that number 9 that's going to finish off all the good work that they do in that final third.
Yeah, we just saw the
100%.
list for Arsenal, Franny. I'm just looking at Spurs' one. Van de Ven, Romero, your 2 starting centre-halves. Udogi's been in and out. Ben Davies, Vicario, the goalkeeper, Richarlison, Odegaard, who's just joined last year but hardly featured. Fraser Forster was missing for a few games through illness. Bentancur, the latest addition there.
Yeah, you're talking top players, aren't you? You're talking nearly starting 11 out injured. I think obviously the big thing is what Ants just said. You look at Arsenal, and they've had that partnership, haven't they, for a couple of years now. It's probably the best defensive pairing, I would say, in the Premier League. And then you go over to Tottenham, who've got obviously Archie Gray, who's a young lad who's done absolutely superb, and Dragiston, who's probably not a starter. So, you know, that's the difference. You're talking about a real young lad, and then probably someone who's not a starter, and they're missing obviously Van de Ven and Romero, who are the 2 main players, and it's going to have an impact, and I think you can see that.
However, very quickly, Anthony, it does give a chance for others to come in and shine for both sides.
Indeed, and that's what you want. You have to have a squad with depth at the minute, and it's time for other players to come in and step up and show their qualities, which they have done. You've got players in the Spurs side that have come in, stepped in, young players as well, that don't have all that Premier League experiences, and they're showing their worth. From Spurs' point of view, from Arsenal's point of view, obviously they've got players that are coming in off the bench, and they're coming in and playing at a level that's needed to get Arsenal to where they want to be, which is at the top of the league. They're faltering a little bit at the minute, where they're not picking up results where they probably should do for all the possession and the domination they have in the game. But I think it will come. Whether it's going to come sooner rather than later, I think will probably be determined by the transfers that they can make in the January window.